Oh yeah, we're live.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Smack 'em up, everybody. We are live here with the Almost Humanoids. We got Tony Dio, Count Ralphus, and Wayne Noon.
Oh
Wayne
yeah.
Noon's not actually a humanoid. Wayne, as an outsider, what is your opinion of the human race?
What is my what?
Opinion of the human race.
Oh, they all suck.
Uh,
Every single one of you humanoids.
and we got a very special guest. I would just like to say two words before I get into it. It's Road Dog. And Brian Wilson doesn't even know the joke of Road Dog and Brian Wilson. But I'll tell it to him. We got the great Brian Wilson here who got his start with me.
Oh,
And
so sorry.
It's true.
Yeah.
then he played with Ingve, and now he's with Night Demon, and he has an amazing band that released one record. Hey, Brian, do you remember? Because I was listening to this today. This is Midnight Spell with Sky Destroyer, which is
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah. Got it
Brian,
on CD
Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
I was
and
listening.
the demo.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that as well. I was listening to the CD because my turntable broke. Very sad, man. I'm still, mourning. But
I'm very sorry for your loss, Ralph.
yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. But I'm gonna see. I'm taking it to this place that repairs turntables, so maybe they can do some voodoo on it to bring it back to life. I don't know what's wrong with it. People, everybody out there, is it the belt? Is it the motor? I don't know shit about Shinola. Oh, if you lift the mat, you can see the belt. And I go, well, if you lift my shorts, you can see these nuts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, stop with your fucking. You guys are into that shit. Brian Wilson knows a mutual friend of mine, Willie. Willie fixes Betamax, fucking
Uh,
machine. Betamax and laser
Yeah.
discs. He's into that shit.
what
But
were you listening to before it broke?
what was the
Midnight
last?
Spell.
No. Oh my God, I
It was
can't.
too heavy.
Yeah, it was something heavy. I can't remember at the moment what it was that was the last vinyl I played. But
Oh, shame.
Ralph's just simple. He just calls the man. Just call the man. Fuck it. I don't care what it's made out of. Just call the man.
yeah, Master Reality. That's what I was listening to.
That's a good
All
one to
right.
break your turntable by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice. But anyway, back in the day, Brian was very, very young. I mean, how old were you? Like 13 or something when you saw Thrasher
He
die?
looks like he's about 18. How much?
Oh,
I was about 13 when I first saw Thrasher die, I think. Yeah. I'm 28 now, soon
yeah,
to be 29.
I knew him when
Pretty
he was
young.
a kid. Can you believe, Brian? I'm still alive after all these years. Insane, right? What the
That's pretty
fuck?
insane. I
What the
know.
fuck's keeping me alive? Well,
Heavy
anyway,
metal.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Um, so then Brian, we did our thing, and then he ended up doing the Midnight Spell thing, and then he ended up in Ingve. And then I remember when you first joined Ingve, you did like a little tour. It wasn't that long, I remember. And during that time you were doing that little tour, Alex Marquez would goof on you, saying, he's a road dog. He's a road dog. Little did he
Yeah.
you are technically now like a super road dog because
You are, man.
Brian is everywhere. China, I don't know, fucking Guam. He plays everywhere around the planet.
I've I've now played in over 30 countries. Uh I think about 40 states. I really want to play in all of them, but some of them are pretty obscure, like North and South Dakota. Those are going to be hard to get to. Not too many shows happen there, but yeah,
And
in 2024, it was like 110,000 miles traveled. So this year's been a bit lighter. Um, but next year is probably going to be even lighter because Night Demon's going to be going into writing mode. So we've been touring like crazy and it's just really not possible to write new music. And Hell Witch has been writing too as well. So um, yeah, touring has to stop every now and then so writing can happen. But yeah, I do remember. I remember those days. I do kind of remember Alex saying that too.
But with that voice, he's a road dog.
Yeah,
Road
yeah.
dog. That
I
shit.
think the first time I met you, Brian, you were touring with Enforcer.
Yeah, that would have been 2019. That was about this time of year as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
That
that
was a
was
great
like
tour.
the main guy, the singer for Enforcer, basically had to put a band together to tour the U.S.
Yep.
because it was a story that they went to South America or something and played, and then everybody had to go back to work or something, so they all had to go home, and he had to assemble a band
Everybody,
because.
everybody had different reasons. Jonas, the drummer, he had just had a kid
Mhm.
and he was home with the family. And others, it was just visas. And I think the bass player, he was out of the band not all that much longer after that. Um, it's hard, that was a rough tour. I mean, that was 54 shows or something like that, 52, 54 shows and no days off. It was
Wow.
50 plus shows in 50 plus days. It was just go nonstop.
Man, Road Dog. That's it,
Yeah,
man.
road dog.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard work sometimes.
I saw that tour. Wasn't it Warbringer playing with you guys?
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was
Yep.
co-headlining with Warbringer.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
like,
And you would have seen it at O'Malley's in Margate, I think.
funny enough, you haven't played down here with Night Demon yet.
No, I have not. The closest we came was Tampa on the King Diamond tour last year. And no, we've been trying to work something out to bring Night Demon to Florida. The scheduling has just been crazy though, and it's just not really logistically worked out. Um, but we'll see. I'm not gonna stop trying. We will get the band to Florida. I want maybe do like some mini Florida tour or something, Tampa, Orlando, South Florida, somewhere. It's definitely in the plans. I want to do it sooner than later, but we'll see what makes the most sense for everybody.
Yeah, man, give us posers down here a break.
So this will be your first album with Night Demon, because the last album was what 2023 was that one?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
They contacted me and I started rehearsing with them right after that album was recorded. So I've been on the road with them for a couple of years and I didn't play on the record. Um, they even in the second music video for that album for Beyond the Grave, they kind of kill off the old drummer Dusty, and then I appear in the next video. It was all planned out from the beginning.
Yeah.
They knew that he was going to leave the band, and they were looking for someone else to bring in, and they called me, and uh, it seemed like something that I wanted to do. So, I mean, I was on tour with Ingve at the time that they called me, and I had been looking for something else, like something more band oriented, because the Ingve gig was great, but uh, it's just backing somebody up
Mm-hmm.
rather than being in a band, and that was more what I wanted to do. So yeah, when they contacted me, I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, and I can't wait. I can't wait for next year to write some new stuff with them, record with them, so I can make my mark in the studio with the band.
Definitely.
I seen Ingve like a year and a half ago or two with Glenn Hughes. You didn't happen to be playing then with them.
No, that was the first tour he did without me.
Oh.
So that wouldn't have been me.
Would you have had opportunities to stick with him and do an album with him, or
With Ingve?
yeah?
No, he does his own thing in the studio. It was more just a live thing.
Hmm.
Um, he records everything. He does everything, like either whether
He
it's
even I didn't know
programmed
he
or
plays drums. Really,
it's drum machines.
drum machines. Okay,
Yeah,
Program it.
yeah,
He
that's why they
programs
sound
them.
the
yeah,
way they do.
yeah. He likes full control of everything, and it's his name on the record, so I respect it, and that's how he wants to do it.
Mm.
I would have liked to have recorded with him, but you know, it's just wasn't part of the gig.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, man. How'd you come about hooking up with Ingve? I mean, was it a cattle call of auditions, or did you have a contact and somebody put you in contact with him, or how did it go?
I know that answer, but I'll let
Yeah.
Brian. I know it though.
Um,
I know.
yeah, Ralph's been around for it all. No, it was just
Ralph was your manager. He negotiated it
yeah.
all.
Exactly.
No, I worked with Ingve prior to playing drums for him. And I knew his son Antonio was a close friend of mine for many years, and I just kind of worked. I was Ingve's merch guy before, and I kind of knew the family a little bit. Um, so one day, their drummer Mark had an injury with his finger, and he was unable to play for a while. And I just got a text one day, basically just said, "Hey, Mark hurt his hand. Do you think you could fill in for a couple shows?" Actually, it was supposed to be one show, and I was like, "Sure, yeah." I knew the set. I'd already seen it a million times, so I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then I played that gig, went home, and there was no rehearsal, there was no anything. It was a flying date in Texas, and uh basically it was like, cool, see you at the airport. And the
Holy
first time we
shit.
played was
That's
we
insane.
played was we first time we played was on the stage. And
Wow.
uh
Wow,
That's
amazing.
fucking nuts.
and from there it just continued, and then I ended up doing that for almost 5 years.
Wow. So you were that familiar with his music to be
Yeah,
able to
I
do
mean,
that, or
because
did you practice a lot of it, or?
of course I practiced to warm up to it,
Mm,
because I
mm,
mean, when you listen to something, it's not the same as actually playing it,
right,
but it
right,
certainly helps if you've heard it a million times.
right.
But like I said, I'd seen the show probably 45 times before I actually played drums for him.
Mhm.
So I knew all the cues. I knew how he runs the show from start to finish. So
Right.
it wasn't too foreign. So
All right, cool. In the chat here, Jason Warstenholm says Warstenholm. Sorry, Jason. He says brutal Brian's fills and double bass drumming works. Oh my God, I can't read tonight. Brutal Brian's fills and double bass drum work kicks ass. Believe me. And Zachary Bergstrom also said seeing Dream Theater right now. But he mentioned to you, Brian, last November when he opened up for King Diamond, well, when you opened up for King Diamond, that you need to be on this podcast with Ralph. And he said, it's about time, you rock. And somebody said that we need more cowbell, and I have one right here. So there you go.
there we go. You
Nice.
come prepared. Well, thank you for the kind words. I do remember somebody saying that I should be on this show, and so
Yep.
it was foreshadowed.
And here you are.
I think I told you the
Have a good night,
same
everybody.
thing when we were at King Diamond last year in Maryland. We were talking a little bit. I said, "Yeah, you got to do the show one night."
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Here you are.
I,
So,
I would love to hear more of like the beginning of like you meeting Ralph and like your first bands and stuff, and where you just kind of skipped right up to like where you are now. But it seems like when I was reading how many bands you played with, it's like it sounds like a really cool story to hear it all, like where you started from.
I mean, every band is a story in itself, probably, but um, I just started playing drums one day, and I started playing drums at about 12 years old. I wanted to be a guitar player, but I just didn't have the discipline for it as a child, and and even when I sat down behind the drums for the first time I got an opportunity to do that, about 11, 12 years old, uh, it made more sense to me. And so got a drum set, and from day one I was like, this is what I want to do. And I was already into heavy metal because of my dad. My dad had every record, used to take me to shows, and stuff like that. Every new British heavy metal record, every thrash record, everything, from the 80s.
I gotta,
And so
I gotta say too, his dad was part of the L'Amour's crowd back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh,
He lived up north during
Yeah.
the serious L'Amour's era. Yeah, I had a long conversation with him about L'Amour's. Continue, Brian.
Yeah, so I got into the music through him, and it was just an obsession from day one. Like, as long as I can remember, it's always been just heavy metal's, the thing for me. And it naturally progressed into I need to play in a band. So when I started playing drums, that was my goal from day one. And I started putting out videos on YouTube of me playing in my garage, just playing along to different songs. I did a Thrash or Die song
Yeah, he did
years ago.
you did a video for it, I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
It was on YouTube, him playing to Thrash or Die. I remember that shit.
Yeah, so then I joined my first band. It was me and some kids from high school. It was a thrash band called Frostbite, and we really had no idea what we were doing. We were all 15, 16 years old, and um, that kind of fizzled out. And then I was looking to start a new band, and that's when I went on Facebook and posted like, "Does anybody want to start a band?" And I think Ralph responded, and I knew Ralph from Thrash or Die and all of that. We both wanted to do just traditional heavy metal, I guess you call it. And from there, we found some other musicians, and I took the bass player from my first band, who I knew from high school, and we started Combat. And it was the three of me, Ralph, Rich, on bass, and Ryan and Bazooka from
Yeah.
Thrash or Die. So that was Combat. And
Whatever happened to Rich?
I'm not sure. The last I ever saw of him was that he was playing in some kind of like country band. I think he still plays bass. I'm pretty sure that he does, but I'm not sure what he's up to these days.
He was a sick bass player.
Yeah,
I mean,
amazing. Yeah,
amazing, way ahead of his years. I mean, this guy was like Geezer Butler and shit.
yeah. And
Yeah,
finger picking too.
Yeah, he was amazing. Rich was amazing.
Yeah, he was. And I'm sure he still is. I know he still plays. He's got to still play.
Yeah.
And yeah, we put out the 5-song Combat EP, and yep, there it is. It's
Right
a
here.
classic.
By the way, this is all right, look. This is a bunch of copies that Brian had. And I'm offering it for sale. You guys know my PayPal. If you don't know my PayPal, it's in the description of all.
hold one for me because I don't have one.
Yeah,
So hold
I need
for me.
one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to get one.
I will say, and I didn't even discuss this with Brian because Brian, I'm like, yeah, well, how much are we going to sell for? I'm just going to throw this on the air because this show's real. It's real stupid. It's real. This. Do you think this is a fair price? I'll ask Brutal Brian. $15 including postage.
I say that's fair.
Right? I won't
Yeah.
take postage. Just $15. Now,
Yeah.
if you want me to autograph it, $10.
So it goes down to
It goes
$10
down
if
to
you
price.
sign it.
If I sign it,
It depreciates.
yeah, it's not worth that much once I desecrate it. But hey, man, this is awesome shit. I'm very, very proud of this. What is it?
Yeah.
5 songs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 songs. I put up Headbangers from Hell on my YouTube channel not too long ago, and there was a lot of cool response. One guy was talking about your double bass in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I'm very, very proud of this because I wanted to do a traditional metal band, but I didn't know no traditional metal guy but Brian, I mean, look, we got, I don't know that much about Rich, what he was into, but I know Ryan was into thrash and this, Damien's into Pink Floyd. They weren't really traditional metal guys, but they
Mhm.
played part really good. I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds like a traditional metal band. Don't get me wrong, but it was like me and Brian were really the spearheads of getting this band together, and we would get whoever the fuck we can as long as they can play good. And that's
Yeah.
what we got. That's what we got. And we played, I don't know what, 5 shows, 5, 6 shows. We
I
didn't.
feel like we played a lot of shows. We used to play the House of Rock like every weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Does that count though?
That's what I was saying, but that's what I was thinking. But no, I remember we played Churchill's, I think, and we played Propaganda.
Yeah.
But we mostly played the House of Rock.
Yeah, we played someplace in Hollywood. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I forgot about that. That was with MZM.
yeah, with MZM. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, because that night there was a Phantom of the Paradise showing with Paul Williams actually there. So I told the dude, please let us go on early because I wanted to get to the theater in time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, hey, look, if you're interested, it's awesome stuff, you know? And once they're gone, they're gone. You know, this
Yeah,
is
those are out of print.
yeah, they're out of print. Yeah. Let's just pretend, you know, hey, look what's back, you know, reprinted
Yeah.
in plastic, you know?
Remastered.
New
Yeah,
old stuff.
yeah. Remastered, remixed with bonus
Yeah.
tracks that
Although that's not until the 30th anniversary box set edition.
yeah. And also another thing is that I'm giving away tickets to see Zetro this Saturday at Piper's in Pompano Beach. So anybody I need you guys to look at the chat for this. Anybody wants a ticket, but you got to live in South Florida, okay? Leave your name in the chat. Say I want a ticket, then leave your name. Brian, you're not going to be back from Canada in that time, are you?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, or else I'd pretend you won. But
Yeah. No,
but
give it to someone else this time.
yeah, everybody else, you know, leave your name if you're a South Floridian. Because if you're not a South Floridian, I don't think it's cool to give you a ticket because you won't be going to it. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. You need to be
So
going.
you're not offering room and board at Cathay Fuck.
Plane flight.
Maybe we can work something out. Tony,
Play-
you can go pick them up. You're an experienced driver driving people around. You pick them up, bring them to the show.
Yeah, I'll just go to Canada and pick him up.
And I'm gonna actually be the MC. They made me the MC of the show. So I'm gonna go up there and you know and introduce the bands and you know throw out some racist jokes and stuff. It's gonna be a
Well,
fun,
you're in Florida, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be fine,
You're gonna-
Florida.
it's
You're
okay.
gonna moon the crowd, right? I heard you're gonna moon the crowd.
No, I'm gonna do the fossil.
No?
You know what the fossil is? That's going back to the 80s. You know, the fossil is the front part.
The fossil, man.
Oh man. So Brian, the first time you met Night Demon, wasn't it the time they spent the night at my house? Wasn't it at that time?
That was the second time.
Oh, you
The
met
first time, yeah,
Okay.
the first time I met them was also when they played Churchill's. They came to Miami, and there was like 10 people there or something. And I was like, this is cool, but this band will never be back. And then they came back a couple of years later. I think the first time was 2015, the second time was 2017. And I opened that time with a band that I was playing with. And that time, more than 10 people showed up. There were about 20 people that time.
Can I talk about that band you were in that opened
Sure.
up that Demon that night? This is like really kind of a bizarre story. He was a band, they were called Wool, right? That was the name of it, Wool.
Mhm.
Yeah, not the greatest name for a band, but the
Wasn't
sing-
my choice.
the singer guitar player was Antonio Malmsteen, which is Ingve's son. And I got to tell you, what a talent. He doesn't sound like his dad. You know, it doesn't, but he rips. He does rip on guitar. He has a good voice. You guys actually covered Stormbringer from Deep Purple. And he sang it good, played it well. They were awesome. They were unbelievable, actually. And I filmed the whole thing. And Antonio begged me never ever release that because he wasn't proud of this kick-ass performance he did. You know what I mean? And I never did. I never released it or anything. But man, I mean, what a talented kid.
Yeah, very, very talented. We played that night. Unfortunately, that band never recorded anything. Which we had, but we just never did. We opened that night, and I met the Night Demon guys for a second time that night. We went to Denny's afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's when we really became friends, and we stayed in touch since then. And a couple years ago, when they needed a drummer, I was the one. We crossed paths a lot on the road too. So it's not like we were strangers at all by that point. Um, Apparently, as well, at least what they've told me, they never auditioned any other drummer. They never called any other drummer. I was the one phone call. So I'm very appreciative that they saw that in me. And yeah, here we are now. So how do we get to that show again? Oh yeah, when did
Yeah,
when did
you
I meet
skipped
Night
a big
Demon?
chunk after Combat. You went from Combat all the way back to Night Demon again. I want to hear about this band, Hell Witch. I mean, they're
Okay.
pretty legendary. There's my old cassette. I got a limited edition number 75 of 500 of my old 7
Oh
inch
wow, that's
North
pretty rare.
Throttle 7 inch.
I have that. I have that.
Okay, I don't
I don't
have
know if
that.
that was next. I'd rather you go next in line though. From Combat,
Okay.
I mean, you probably got sick of Ralph complaining about Sammy Hagar every day, so you said I gotta get into another band. And then like,
Yeah.
what was the next thing?
So from Combat,
Well, actually, even before Hell Witch, didn't you join Thrash or Die? Wasn't that before Hell Witch?
no, that was after Hell Witch
Okay.
or during. Um, so yeah, after Combat, because Combat was a thing, but everybody kind of went their own ways in that band. Ryan joined Lich King or Condition Critical or every other thrash band under the sun. He's in like the SOD band now, the tribute to SOD. And
United Forces.
yeah, and um, I ended up getting contacted by Antonio Malmsteen, who was looking for a drummer while I was still playing Combat, and then that kind of became a thing. And uh, while I was playing in that band, I got a text from Pat from Hell Witch, who I'd known just from mutual friends and things like that. I was 18 at this time, and he texted me and asked, what would you think of playing drums for Hell Witch? And I'm like, well, fuck, I can't play that. I'd never played a blast beat in my life at that point, and never really aspired to being a more traditional metal guy, and extreme metal, black metal, and death metal is so big in South Florida, and that was never really my first love, I guess. I was always into like the new wave of British heavy metal and just stuff like that. But I loved Hell Witch, and so I was like, well, I'll try my best. And I came in there and uh, I did the songs to the best of my ability, and we worked together for like probably half a year to uh, bring the songs up to speed. And uh, even then, I mean, I look back now and I'm like, oh, that wasn't actually that bad. Because I think about how I play the songs now. I'm like, yeah, now I've got it down. But I then think like, man, I must have sucked back when I was 18. It's like, it's not so bad, but for 18 years old, I think I pulled it off okay. Especially for never having really played extreme metal before. Um, but that was, I had really aspired to tour, and that was my opportunity to play outside of Florida, to get onto some festivals, and honestly, it made my drumming better too. It did a world of difference for pushing me to another level, and I'm very thankful for that. I still play in Hellwitch for 10 years now. It's been a decade. I've not been in any band as long as I've been in Hellwitch. And um yeah, it's been a great 10 years at that too. We put out an album in a couple years ago now. I'm sorry, it was just in 2024. And or was it 23? I don't fucking remember anymore. Everything's a blur. But the last Hellwitch album, Annihilational Intercension, we worked our asses off on that for a really long time. And I am really proud of that album. So if you haven't heard that, go check it out now, because if you haven't heard it yet, you're missing out.
I
But
I
um
I own it. I just can't pronounce it.
most people can, and that's okay. That's how we like it.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, from joining Hellwitch, I was playing with them, and it was great because it was my introduction to touring. We never toured super hard or anything, but we would do weekend runs here and there, or a couple weeks here and there, and it just cemented more like, this is what I want to do with my life. So, and I was straight out of high school pretty much at that point too. So, um, things went on for a few years, and then I got that text message I was saying about with would you fill in for Mark in Ingve's band, and uh, started doing that, and it just never seemed to stop. And from there, I got the odd call here and there, like Olaf from Enforcer contacting me, like, would you be able to fill in on drums for a tour? I'm like, well, I got nothing booked right now, so let's do it. I do my best to do music full time. So if I'm ever off the road, if an offer comes in, I'm like, more than likely, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Especially if it's a band that I love as much as Enforcer, because that was a huge, huge uh, influence on me at the time, and up to that point as well. Um, and then I got the call from Night Demon one day. Just persistence. It's been, I guess you could say, sort of like a career ladder. Um, but I look back at how, from 15 years old playing in a thrash band with uh, some kids from my high school, and just a couple months ago I played Vakken, which is, looking back, I'm like, man, I did that. Uh, and don't get me wrong, I've got a long way to go. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And if there is even a top anymore in this climate that we live in, the music industry being what it is, and streaming, and heavy metal is not going to ever probably be in the mainstream, but you know we fight for metal, and Hellwitch and Night Demon, those are the two bands I play for now. We just fight for heavy metal. That's what we do, because it's what we love, and just got to keep pushing to put quality music out, and the people will follow. The people will care, the people will listen. The ones that matter will anyway.
Yeah, yeah. The truth. The truth.
The true.
Yeah.
Although you're only what, 28, right?
I'm
Yeah.
28, yeah.
28. You're gonna grow out of this at some point, so don't worry about it.
I'm 28, and I've been a metalhead for 28 years. So
Good.
Great drummers are always in demand. There's always a band that, and you're so willing to jump on the road and to learn, to jump in without even practicing with Ingve is just insane. Like that kind of caliber of drumming means that you could end up in anybody at one point, just stay with it and stay out there.
I got to tell you, the drumming in Hellwitch makes Ingve's drumming look like peanuts. Man, I've seen Hellwitch a quadrillion times before. Brian ever joined, and Joe Witch was the drummer.
Yeah.
And that guy, man, was like a magician. He was an
Yeah,
icon.
he's amazing. He still is. He still is. I've seen him in the last couple of years, and he's still playing great.
Yeah, just but and the technical nature, the tightness, and when I saw Brian with Hellwitch, he was pulling that shit off, and that wasn't really your style. Your style,
Yeah.
or you can lean on thrash and traditional, but that was taking you further. So yeah, by you saying your drumming got better, it's like, of course, if you're drumming like that,
I don't consider myself to be so much of an extreme metal drummer. I can play thrash, and I kind of see it as like that's where I stop. But I think that's kind of my biggest advantage and my biggest disadvantage because when I play in a band, when I do play the more extreme stuff, because I've played in other extreme stuff as well, but like when I approach Hellwitch, especially because Hellwitch is an old school band, um, I approach it with my influences in mind, be it Tommy Aldridge or uh, like even old school Gene Hoglan. That's a big one for me. But um, I approach those parts with those drummers in mind rather than like, somebody who's listening to like Dark Funeral every day or something like that. Um, and I can say that because when I'm not around and I'm on the road with Night Demon, I have a fill-in who plays for me in Hellwitch. It's Rustin Gross, who was the drummer for Master, and he's just this fucking awesome like death metal drummer who can really just go a million miles an hour. And he does kind of take his own interpretation of those parts when he does play with the band, and I think it's cool to hear. But I hear the difference of how he's taking a more modern approach to it, and me being more old school. I think that it comes off as more, I'll say authentic, but more old school sounding, and that is more unique. I'm not just gonna go there
Classic.
and play, all these like mega fast double bass rolls that are just like so like 5,000 beats per minute or just last the whole time. I'm there and I'm playing it old school. So I say it's an advantage because of that. I think it kind of sets my drumming apart when I approach things like that. It's also my biggest disadvantage because if I could do those things, it would be a lot easier on me. But
I think with Hellwitch, it should be what you're saying though. Like Hoagland and all them guys, they all had those older school like drumming influences. So they're not, even though Hoagland went totally into technical death metal and so he could do
yeah,
everything, but he's like if you looked at his influences, if he was playing thrash metal, he's gonna play more that kind of style. So it's cool that for Hellwitch, I think that's perfect that you're more of like an old school. Some bands like Necrophagia or something like that, you can't put like a super technical death metal drummer in there. It's better the way it
mhm,
is back in the day with it's more simple, straightforward kind of stuff.
yeah. That's not to say it's any easier. There's
Yeah,
still some
no, not
very,
at all.
very, dude, there's some fucked up shit in the Hellwitch songs. Like, and anytime
Oh yeah, you
like
hear it
we
more.
try to show it to somebody else, like if we had a new bass player come in, or when they have to, rehearse with another drummer, it's like, how do we even explain this? But because we're not like Berkeley College graduates or anything, and we rarely talk in musicians terms either. It's like we don't even really talk in time signatures. Like I'm just like, play me the riff and I'll feel it out. And if it's an odd time, if it's a weird riff, I'm just like, just let me hear it. I don't really think in time signatures, and neither does Pat, who's writing everything in Hellwitch. Um, and it's like I like there's some parts where like I'll watch how many times he bangs his head, and for me to come in, uh or like because when we program the click track, you hear this, it's like this part, like the drum fill should last for 5 clicks. That's how we approach it. And it really creates a unique sounding band. I think it's
Are you a
just
self
totally. off
Are
the
you
wall. I'm sorry.
are you a self-taught drummer or did you take
I'm
lessons?
self-taught. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'm self-taught, and that's probably why I fit in and talk in all these non-musical terms
Yeah,
right there with them.
I'm the same way. I taught myself how to play drums.
But you know,
Yeah.
I wrote all the drum parts in Thrasher Die, and that's what influenced them. So I was the one that taught
Yeah.
them. I was
Of
the one that
course.
taught them how to play drums with my
Wow.
genius Thrasher Die drumming mind.
I didn't know you were that good.
Oh, I'm awesome. I come
Wow,
up with
apparently. I
Well,
don't even know why you needed a band.
You wrote the intro, the drum intro to Demons from Combat.
Did I really?
I think so. Yeah, you were like coming with like this drum fill, and you kind of like mouthed out the snare fill, and you know, and
I know I suggested the drum solo. I know I did that.
yeah,
I said I
yeah,
want this part just to be a drum solo.
yeah.
So
You mentioned Tommy Aldridge and Gene Hoglan. Who's some more of your drumming influences?
My number one influence by far is Rob Reiner from Anvil.
oh
He
The
is
most
amazing.
underrated drummer ever, especially in metal.
I
Like
missed
just
it. What'd you say?
Rob Reiner from Anvil.
Oh, okay. Oh God, yes, yes, he is awesome.
Yes.
He's
The
fucking
very.
amazing.
first three records, man. The first three Anvil records is like
Yep.
my metal drumming Bible. Just
Mhm.
Awesome.
and you know
I
he's someone who is basically a jazz drummer playing metal, and I wish I could. You know, I'm very far from any able to do anything like that, but
He
uh
plays tradition. He plays tradition. He holds the sticks traditional and stuff.
traditional
And all
grip,
that.
yeah.
You don't see a lot of guys doing that in metal. You know.
Mm-mm.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. That he's just he only started doing that maybe like several years ago at this point too. And it's just like he got bored or something. Um it's just like when you're that good, you know.
Yeah.
Anvil was my first club band when I was like 14 years old. Like I seen Anvil in a little bar. My friend's dad had to get us into it, but 1984. But yeah, Rob Reiner, one of the greats.
Yeah, I always thought he was like, he's like one of the best drummers, and like, I like Anvil, and I hate to say it, but one of the best drummers in like the worst band, kind of like how Nuno from Extreme is like one of the greatest guitar players, but yet Extreme sucks. You know, like
I mean, yeah. Uh
Early Anvil, early Anvil
Early, you
kicks
can't
ass.
touch.
early, I love
early.
Anvil.
And
I
there
own
is some
every
good
album that they
albums
have
later
put
too.
out.
There's
Fir-
a couple like later
first three
albums that are
albums.
really good. There's a
I
couple
like-
real late albums that are good too.
They
But
are.
then the last one was
this is 13. I really like that album.
I
And
do like
yeah, that
album.
was a good one. Yep. There's a couple really good ones in those later years that people skip past because they heard the bad ones. But
Juggernaut of
I still
Justice also
like them
had some
all
really
out.
good songs. But yeah, the first
Yeah,
three,
that was a really good one.
first
But
three.
The
but just
last one,
seeing
the
like
last one, I don't know.
the talent that he
Worth the
has,
wait.
like he could have been in
No,
a better
I
band.
get it.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Well,
I
he
honestly,
got-
I always
he-
thought he could have replaced Carl Samuelson from Megadeth because he's got that
Oh, he
similar
could have
same
went
feel.
anywhere. He could have
Yeah, he
went
really could have
anywhere.
gone anywhere.
He got offered
Yeah.
Ozzy. Didn't he get offered a gig in Ozzy at one point? I think.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
read the
that.
book,
I
and
have heard that.
he had a big offer and stuff, and he stayed with his brother. You know, especially early on, he had I think even more offers, but they thought that they maybe were going to go someplace. You know, and they were having a lot of success at one point, but then
Mm.
just the
I
scene moved
mean,
so fast back in the day.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
back
Big
then,
time.
you know, I think Bobby Gustafson was also offered to join Megadeth at one point, and so was Dimebag. And Dimebag, I think, wouldn't join Megadeth because he wanted Vinny to come with him. And
Yeah.
you know, but like, who could have possibly known who would have become the big four back then? You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
everybody
Well,
was standing
that's
on kind
like
of equal
John Bush.
ground.
John Bush was offered the lead singer of Metallica before they really got going. So that's another weird one where he had a chance that he could have been a singer before they had the first album, even, you know. But he figured Armored Saint is on their way to be the bigger band. So
Yeah.
They were on
Armored Saint.
Chrysalis. Chrysalis, the big metal label.
I gotta say, there's this like, he's an idiot. He does this metal news thing. They're little shorts of he did a news report on John Bush, and he said John Bush was asked to join Metallica for Ride the Lightning. And I let the comment go, no. They asked him before Kill 'Em All. Not only him, but everybody was goofing on me. And I was like, dude, I interviewed John Bush back in 80 something, and I knew I dumped it in my computer. And I found it. And I took the clip of John Bush saying, I go, yeah, because they're like, they put links to all these websites that think they know what they, oh, here's a link that proves it was, it's like, you can't believe every shit you read on the internet. So I sent them actual audio proof of John Bush talking about, yeah, before they did Kill 'Em All, they were asking, fuck you all.
I thought it was common knowledge though. Why would they ask another singer in the middle of their career? That would be stupid. I mean, and bands have done that, but Metallica,
Yeah,
I
Angel
thought it was
Witch
common.
comes to mind.
Yeah. So since you're so young and you've been on all these tours, all these older bands, have you ever talked to some of the members? Like, say you were on tour with King Diamond, did you talk to Matt Thompson and get any like kind of advice or anything from these guys?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time when I find myself around my heroes, basically is like to not just ask all these questions because I mean before I'm a metal musician, I'm a huge metal fan as well.
Right. Yeah.
And especially, I'm obsessed with the new wave of British heavy metal. When I toured with Satan, that was the first tour I did with Night Demon. It was Night Demon and Satan, and we did the US, and we were on a bus together. And we were out at some restaurant like a couple days into the tour, and I was sitting at a table with all five original members of Satan, and that's including Brian Ross, from who was also in Blitzkrieg, and I just like I just sat down with them. I was like, okay, tell me everything about the new wave of British heavy metal. And they did. They were happy to talk about it. I find that most people are. I absolutely loved talking music with Ingve as well. We
Mm.
talked a lot about uh just the metal scene back in the 80s, uh and even King Diamond I didn't get to talk to all of that much. He was very, very good to us on that tour. And I did get to talk to him a few times though, and it's like it's like getting to know and talk to your heroes on that level is something I'm very grateful for. Um, but yeah, I do try to ask for I don't I do ask other drummers for advice sometimes, but um, I kind of just do my own thing, my own way.
Mm.
Uh, and because I don't know, whenever I find that I ask other drummers for advice, what works for them doesn't work for me.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if that's because I have my own messed up way of doing all the things that I do.
Mm.
But um, the things I usually talk about with the other bands or people that I've toured with is usually like, let's tell me about this album. Tell me about this band when you had a run in with this band because I've heard this story and is it
Mm.
true?
Mm.
Um, like for instance, one example is when I was touring with Queensryche, and I was like, oh, you guys are listed on like the the thank you list on the first Overkill record, but it's like no thanks to Queensryche. I'm like, what's
Right.
that about? And I was like, dude, I have no idea. So, um, yeah, I do have a lot of cool stories that I've heard firsthand. Um, and yeah, I'm very, very grateful for that. It's been great.
Very cool. This guy Adam Wilson in the chat, he says, shouldn't he be talking more about his dad? He just talks about himself the whole time.
Yeah, I
That's
wonder
my
who that
dad.
is.
I wonder who that guy could possibly be.
Yeah.
I'm a old Lemoore's guy too, so I might have moshed into your dad at one point.
Yeah, very possible.
Now I want to talk about the very brief time Brian was actually in Thrasher Die. He played
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he played the last show. Well, how many shows did he play with us? Maybe 4 or 5? I don't know.
I think 4.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, we performed in front of 8,000 Colombians.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember this, Brian, but I remember after that show telling all you guys, this is it. This is the way I want to end the band. This is the way to end a band, playing in front of 8,000 people. But then I don't know who it was talked me into playing a shitty Churchill show to 3 people after that, and
Yeah.
that was our last show. But anyway,
Sounds like the Anvil movie.
I mean, by the time Brian joined, I was the only original member left. But
Yeah.
I gotta say, the most fun I had in the band was with these guys, and it was only like 5 shows. That was the most non-stressful time in Thrash or Die, where I didn't have no problems with no members, because it was always a problem with this and that and things. And yeah, but we played
How many years was the whole Thrash or Die like cycle? How many years?
17, 18, 9. Wait, I'm sorry. 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8 years.
Wow, 8
Yeah.
years.
We sold a lot of records, man. And when we were first, I mean, like brand new, there was a huge buzz on us. It kind of died out because then war metal came and thrash metal sucked. But there was that.
I just watched a couple of the old videos and they had like 300,000 views and stuff. I was rewatching some of the old videos and I was like, oh shit, look how many views this is.
No, and
Pretty cool.
I sold thousands of CDs of the first album.
I was going through YouTube the other day. I ended up watching one of Bob's old docs of the Bay Area Godfathers, and it's got Thrash or Die music all in it,
Yeah, Bob Nalbamian, man, rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
He asked me. He was very influential on me. He was the first guy that I ever heard do a podcast. I'm talking a long, long time ago when I was first online, and it was called Soul Session, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I like that. I like the one he had. He had one that was on like some like streaming television network there, probably like maybe 15 years ago. And he would interview John Bush and different people were in the studio with him, DJ Will and stuff. It was some kind of like public access thing that was on certain streaming cable or certain cable channels, not streaming, but cable. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, he was a great guy. Yeah, and it's he asked me permission. But the only problem with that, and I told him afterwards, I was like, oh, Bob, at the end when they're showing the credits, every Thrash or Die song, it says written by Ralph Vieira. I'm like, oh God. So I told the band, hey man, the shit's already done. I got a copy, and I
No, you're like Ozzy, man.
Now we know why he was like the last original member.
That's what
all
Bob
songs
thought.
written
Bob
and composed by Ozzy Osbourne.
That's what Bob thought. Bob thought, yeah, he's like Ozzy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're our music scattered all throughout. It's wild to hear our music, and you see Lars Ulrich talking with our music behind it, and
Oh, wow.
and Eric Peterson, and all, Bobby Blitz, and you hear Thrash or Die under it. It's fucking awesome. It was very well
Yeah,
made.
someone's probably listening to that going, man, what Overkill song is this? I've never heard this.
A lot of almost everybody accused me of sounding like Zetro.
Yeah, you do a lot. You do.
Yep.
I don't.
It reminds you. It just reminds. It has that Exodus feel. I don't think it really sounds like them. It just has that approach or something. I don't know.
And I will say, and I've also heard people say Paul Bailoff, but I will say the Heathen demos with Paul Bailoff totally sounds like me. That one I will say, God damn, I sound just like that. And mind you, I didn't hear those demos till after the Thrash or Die thing. But that I will say, if you listen to the Paul Bailoff demos, when he was in Heathen. You can totally, you know. So Brian, let's talk about Columbia for a second. How wild that was. This was
It was pretty wild.
it was fucked up. You know, Brian got sick
I got
because
pretty sick. Yeah.
we were driving through mountains. It was just, it's a third world country. I remember we stopped to get something to eat that's right on the road where the road turns, like a car can totally crash in and kill us, I mean, that place was just wild. And then I'm starving and they didn't send no fucking pizza, no nothing. And I got on the phone with promoters yelling at them. Remember how scrunched up we were in the van? Well, no, you were in the front seat.
On the
Right?
way back.
Because I remember we were all like this for like, what was it, like 6 hours on the road? It was insanity.
I still find myself in situations like that all these years later.
Uh,
But
we did play a show before the festival in
we
Columbia,
did.
some little town,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool. I don't think there was a stage there, was there? I can't remember.
If there was, it was small. I remember the drum set was like falling apart. That was my first time ever being out of the United States. So it was a culture shock for me, I guess. But uh that was a great show, especially or both those shows were really good in their own ways. It was going from a club show to a huge festival. Basically, we weren't headlining it, but we were pretty close to it. Um, yeah, that was quite an experience for me at the time.
We were originally headlining. We were
Oh, were
headlining,
you?
but
Okay.
but then they added, what was it, Gilman? Was that his name?
Gilman, yeah.
Yeah, he was a prick. I'll tell you right now. The guy was a prick. He was a prick to us. You don't have to say it, Brian. I'll say it. The guy was a fucking asshole to us. And it wasn't cool. But he was great. His band was awesome.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I enjoyed him. And during one of the in between songs, he mentioned one of the members in Trash or Die in a negative way. So yeah,
It
screw it.
was in Spanish though, and I wasn't able to understand what he said.
Yeah,
So
I don't remember either, but I know he didn't like us much because we're complaining about our setup. The setup was, I was like, dude, we can't play like this, you know. And I had a total Spinal Tap moment during that show. I asked like some guy if they can use my iPod for intros to certain songs, and they told me they couldn't do it. So I did it. But how I did it was I put the iPod in front of me. And certain parts of the show, I'd fall to my knees, while nobody's noticing. I play the intro, you know, and I yell, and then like during, I guess the middle of some song, I stepped on the iPod by mistake, and some intro started while I'm trying to talk. That was total Spinal Tap. But the most fucked up part about that, and I don't know if you remember, I remember walking off stage and there was actually policemen wanting a picture with me. There were cops. But anyway, and also they were selling bootleg Thrash or Die shit I saw over the fence, which was wild.
That's great.
Yeah, and
You made it when you've got the bootleg stuff.
exactly.
down in that part of the world, that's all there is.
Yeah. So I'm on stage and some guy in the audience yells out perico. And what perico means in Spanish is cocaine. And I said, because you know me, Brian, Brian will attest to this, when I'm on stage, I don't know what I'm going to say. Everything is for the moment. And I said, oh, yeah, in Spanish, I said it to them. I said, yeah, I heard the best cocaine you can get is here in Colombia. Right? And that was it. That's all I said. Well, anyway, there was huge controversy after I said that because one lady out of 8,000 people complained about me, and it ended up on the radio, and they were all looking for me to throw my ass in jail, but we're already coming back. And I landed in Miami, and the promoter, left me voicemail, you need to call me. And he said, you need to make an apology. They want you in jail, and blah, blah, blah. and they said they had footage of me doing cocaine. And they talk about fucking America being fake news. Like,
That was a good thing that was before AI.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you could tell me today, back then, even in America, you say, "Oh, we got him on video doing cocaine." Well, show me the video. You know, which in Colombia it doesn't matter. Gringo, kill him. I'm never going back there. And the fucked up part is they were all great to us. They were all nice people. But, you know, after that backlash, they wanted to kill me, basically.
Now with AI, they would have had a pitch. They would have had video of you with a giant 2-foot long line sucking it all up. Say it's
Yeah.
schnackamagob.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't need AI after that because I became a cokehead. Yeah, so that was an interesting thing. Like they were all looking for me, and I was like, "Well, I guess we can't play Colombia anymore. I'm too scared to go back." Even today, what's it been, 8 years or something? It's been a while. But
There's the guy that did the cocaine. Get him.
hey,
You know,
look,
I was there. I was just there a few months ago, and they pulled me aside at customs. Like, do you still talk to Dr. Fuck? No.
They had a picture of him in the fucking
Yeah.
in the
Have
room
you seen
there.
this man?
Keep an eye out for the doctor.
But you say this show is real. We're talking about Thrash or Die. So I said that next year is going to be the 15th anniversary of Poser Holocaust. I think we should do a proper send off for Thrash or Die, one final show or some kind of celebration to, you know, because that's a Thrash or Die accomplished a lot in the time that the band was around, and it's kind of faded away.
yeah, no,
And
it's fade away big time. But you got to remember, at the time, we were doing stuff no unsigned band did. You know, we got promoted on tours, and
yeah,
we were in a movie, 2 movies, Trauma Pictures, Return of Nukem High, because we played the Culture Room. The dude that worked for Lloyd from Trauma, his assistant saw us live, and after the show, he's like, "Oh, I want you guys for Return of Nukem High." We weren't even signed. It was all Empingao Records, which was my record company. And I'm telling you, Poser, Mountain Your Skull sold fine, for a local band, but Poser Holocaust was pretty big for an unsigned band. I was sending CDs out everywhere, and CD Baby was throwing money, and it sold well. It sold well, but a lot of money went into it, so I didn't really make a lot of money off it because I paid off the band members, But it doesn't matter if I made money or not. What mattered was I got it out there. You know what I mean? By the way,
Those elaborate Muppet videos must have cost.
Yeah,
a lot.
if you guys do a reunion show, you should open for the puppets, and then the puppets
yeah.
should headline.
yeah.
we didn't pay for the puppet video though. That was all for the love of Dan. Dan was a bouncer at the Culture Room, and he loved my band so much he ordered those puppets made. Now we did help him, and it was a pain in the ass holding those puppets up. And but the guy's a genius. He made it look so funny, and
It's
then
awesome, man. Yeah.
he also did an animated video for No Polo Loud that came out like 8 years after the album came out. But it's awesome. I mean, he
hmm
spent a lot of time and money on stuff that we did because he loved the band so much, and I thought that was cool as fuck,
Yeah.
Yeah, Thrash or Die, man. So as Brian was saying, we should do one more show. Well, I did tell him, I said, I don't know if I could do it, but fuck it, let's do it. I might suck,
Yeah.
I might be like Paul Stanley and shit, but who cares? Let's do
Or
one.
thrash to the beginning, thrash back to the beginning.
I'll
You
try.
can you can sit in that chair
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Ozzy.
The
Yeah.
humanoids will come down and do backup vocals the whole time. It'll sound powerful.
Now I have a friend called Bladder. Actually, that's his name, Bladder. And the city is going to give him a whole bunch of money because they're tearing down all the houses where he lives and they're going to make a mall there. So he said before they tear down the house, he wants Thrasher Die to play. And when we play his house, we thrash the house. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun time. So if we ever do it, you know, Brian Wilson's down. Willie is actually down to do it. And who do we need? A bass player. You know, Josh will do it in a heartbeat. And Ryan.
Yeah,
Ryan will probably.
I don't think it would be hard to make happen at all.
Yeah.
You got to have a contest like the old MTV, the Lost Weekend with Thrash or Die. One lucky contestant gets to go and thrash or die and tear a house up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there may be, you know. By the way, Wayne, anybody want a ticket to see Suzanne?
One guy did say he wanted a ticket, but he needed to find if he wanted to see if he can get a ride to the show. So he didn't. It wasn't like officially.
Jeez. Fucking ticket's not enough. He needs a ride.
Yeah, he
You
goes,
need
I
some
like
drink
a ticket
tickets
if I
too.
can
Give him some
go.
drink tickets.
Just had to find a ride for Saturday. Kevin
Ralph
Walton.
in the chat, the Merciful Fate spelled backwards guy says Combat should play too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have three of the. We can do a trio. You know?
Yeah. And a Midnight Spell reunion too. Fuck
Yeah,
it, all things at once.
Yeah, man, Midnight Spell kicked ass, man. I like that stuff.
Thank you.
What's the singer doing now?
He sings in a band called Made of Metal, and they do covers in South Florida. He also sings in Nico McBrain's Iron Maiden band when he plays locally. And
Killer.
last I
He's a
heard,
great
he said
singer.
he said he wants to do something else, some sort of original project. He said he's working on some songs for himself. That's another band, sort of like, I mean, I said how like Combat, everybody went their own ways, but we put that album out and like uh it came out around COVID, like in peak COVID times.
Mhm.
And so touring was completely off the table. And by the time COVID started to lighten up a bit, it was so hard to get going again. And I started to get really busy with be it the Ingve tours or the Night Demon tours. But I still do intend to do something with that band one day. I am still writing for that band. And when I am off the road, when I'm at home, I play guitar and I am working on new stuff. And we have some songs that are finished. So I do want to absolutely revive Midnight Spell one day, but it's just that everything has to be right, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
it's a great
half-ass it or
band.
anything. Thank you.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
an
man.
unreleased Midnight Spell song that I have
Mhm.
lyrics for.
Yep.
That may be my favorite song.
Yeah.
That and Midnight Ride, but like I don't think I said it before. If I did, because I'm old. Didn't I do backing vocals on this album?
You did. It says on the back additional vocals by Dr. Fuck.
No, there you go. Yeah.
It says it's somewhere in there. I don't know if it's on the back or on the booklet.
Yeah,
or
it's in the back of the booklet here. It says additional
Yeah.
vocals by Ralph Dr. Fuck Vera. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's an awesome metal master.
Yeah. Yeah. That we do have another song that we recorded, that Ralph wrote lyrics for. There's also another song from the outtakes of that record. It just didn't fit on the vinyl. It would have made the album too long. So we're gonna put it out later. There's also a Diamond Head cover that we did
Which
for
song?
a Diamond Streets of Gold, and it's on the official Diamond Head tribute record. It's called Are We
Okay.
Evil, I think.
Mhm. Yep.
So we are sitting on not only unreleased recordings, but there are some other songs written that they've been demoed but not recorded. So we'll see what happens with that. And maybe, like I said earlier, with something else, like maybe the 30th anniversary box set for
Yeah.
Sky Destroyer will have those unreleased, unheard recordings is what we're saving them for. But
Yeah,
no,
man, that box set that Night Demon did, man, was really nice. I couldn't afford it. I
yeah,
thought it was just really cool. I do need to order the action figure though, because you
the
can buy
action
that
figure is
separate.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just got. I was there when those came in the mail, like a month ago or so, and yeah, they're really nice, and it was all made. You know, it wasn't like the record company or anything. It was all in house with uh, Jarvis. Really, is it's his. I
yeah,
didn't have anything to do with the record, but uh, he worked really, really hard on that and put out a great product. And I know you said it is expensive, but you do get a lot for your money. We
you
didn't
do.
want to. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very, very nice. Yeah,
He didn't want to put this out and be like, oh, $500 and limit it to 20 copies or something like that. It's meant to be accessible. It's meant to be, it's for the fans, and uh, we want people to have it. So
yeah.
Night Demon is definitely for the fans.
You got to come out with a Rocky action figure next.
Yeah, I'm sure if this one does well,
Yeah.
I'm sure that will follow. We want to see if we can get like the because there's Lemmy action figures or things like that. I think it'd be cool to have
Super.
the actual band
Yeah,
one day. But
yeah. Super 7.
yeah,
Yeah,
these weren't actually made by Super 7 though. This was also independently made. It's made by the same people who work for Super 7 though.
yeah.
But yeah, it was all a very big effort to put all that together. And that is available now for anybody watching. Uh, Go on anywhere you buy music. I'm sure it's available. The Night Demon
Right.
Curse of the Damned 10th anniversary box set.
Sweet. Ralph, when are we going to get a Dr. Fuck action figure?
Yeah.
I don't know.
King Valley, we were talking about earlier. He has an action figure. I saw that in one of his little
Yeah, he's got
auctions
a
one day. I was like,
Voivod shirt on.
"Whoa."
He's got a little
I'm
Voivod
like, that is
shirt
so
on.
cool.
Yeah.
Somebody out there, come on, make an action figure after me.
I can
You
probably-
already
I-
got
I
a
the
fucking
3D
puppet,
printer,
man.
so
You don't
I
need
think
an
I can
action
make one.
figure too.
Yeah.
Come on.
Puppet not enough.
Yeah, Wayne will fucking
right.
3D print you one.
Yeah, I can.
That's
Yeah.
right. I got-
Oh, I forgot about that, Wayne. You have a
Yeah.
3D printer. You can
Yeah.
do it.
Ah, cool.
Oh fuck! I need you to print me all kinds of shit.
I'm having a problem right now printing things, so I gotta get that straightened out first. But yeah, I can print things when it works.
Yeah, Wayne printed this and sent it out to the humanoids. How
I have
fucking
it,
sick.
yeah. I put it.
And
I
he
put-
hand painted that shit too. Look
Man,
at that shit.
that thing is so
Beautiful.
sweet, man. Yeah, you did a great job with it.
That one
Mine's
came out good. Yes.
that's sitting on my mantle in my living room. Yep.
Wait. Really? You made that? You did that?
Yeah.
You didn't,
I said
you
I
didn't know
painted.
that?
I 3D
What do you think
printed
he
that.
bought him?
He got one.
Yeah.
He got one
get-
and he fucking just threw it in the fucking
Yeah,
it's-
he thought he bought it at like Five Below, did you?
Yeah, I thought he bought it somewhere.
Dollar Tree.
No, those are all hand painted. They all look kind of a little different.
Oh
but they're all
wow!
the same.
You know
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense because the gays are the best at hand painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a really important question now. I gotta get this in there before it ends. But so me and Tony, we got to interview Jarvis Leatherby on Rock Fantasy Files right before the King Diamond tour, which was awesome. He's such a cool dude. Loved that band. The band Night Demon's fucking awesome. Really flying the flag for the old traditional heavy metal. But we also we just did a show this week, and we did this Rock Candy magazine quiz, and we talked about loudest bands and stuff, and the bands that hurt your eardrums the most. It was one of the questions: what was the loudest concert? So you had mentioned how like you didn't do the Glenn Hughes tour with Yngwie, but you were on these tours right before that, so it must be the same deal. So I gotta ask you: so fucking Yngwie, after Glenn Hughes plays, Yngwie does this like sound check thing that goes on for like a fucking hour. It is the loudest sound check I've
Yes.
ever experienced in my fucking life. It was so deafening. I swear to God, half the fucking place left because it was so ridiculous. Yngwie had these fucking amps going up to the ceiling. And when he started playing, it was loud, but it wasn't as loud. But like he tortured the fucking people waiting for like an hour. So I just wondering, is there anything you could tell me about why the fuck that would have happened at the show I was at? And it was that like a usual thing? Did he like to fucking torture people with fucking decibels? Or is there anything you could say to that this story? Because we've talked about it a few times on the Sea of Tranquility, and it was like one guy left, and the other guy lasted 2 songs, and then he left, and just anything about the decibels with Ingve.
I'll say this. He is the loudest guitar player I've ever played with in my life. And I mean, he's known for saying more is more,
That's-
and he lives by that, and like that's his thing. And whether it be more notes, more volume, whatever, like that's his thing. And yeah, it's heavy metal. It's meant to be played loud. And even if it is gonna burst your eardrums, that's the point. That's that's uh
The people
that's
were
heavy metal.
leaving. They were leaving before he even came on because it was so fucking
Mm.
ridiculously loud. It was
Uh,
like every
I
time the guitar tech hit the guitar, it was like a fucking thousand arrows came out the crowd, and like half the people would leave. It was just
I
weird. I just never experienced that in my life, the way how loud it was before he tuned it down and came out.
Yeah, well, that was not. I wasn't around for that. But I will say when I played with him, it was pretty fucking loud. And I mean, my drums were set up right in front of that wall. Um, it's it's something I get used to, but it took a bit of getting used to. It's like, setting up in front of it's like setting up your drums in front of a jet engine, basically.
I can
But
imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
I respect that. I respect that.
That's it.
There's no compromise there. He wants to play loud. He wants to be loud. And it's heavy metal. Heavy
Proud to
metal
be
is
loud.
about, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I respect it. And honestly, whenever I enter a live music environment, I'm wearing earplugs. And I recommend that anybody going to concerts on a regular basis or ever really, I recommend everybody does that as well. But
That
yeah.
that was a huge part of our conversation. People were recommending which earplugs to use and everything, but it was all around like us talking about Motorhead, Manowar. But Ingve came up a couple times, so I just had to
Yeah.
ask. And
Yeah.
with all those amps like turned on, I mean, they went up to the fucking roof in this place that I was in, the Chance in Poughkeepsie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did play that venue with him.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a few years before that, but uh yeah, it is one of the loudest shows you'll ever see, for sure.
Yeah. It wa- it
Yeah.
it it
Fuck
ranks
yeah.
and it ranks in my when they asked me the question, I said Ingve, I think it was like 2006 or seven. I saw him in a club, and it's still to this day it's the loudest show that I've ever attended. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Motorhead, Black Sabbath, and Ingve. Those are the three loudest bands I ever saw.
I've seen Manowar a couple times, and Ingve was louder than Manowar,
Yeah, I
and
seen I seen Manowar
Motorhead.
at BB King's in New York City, and it was a small little club.
Oh,
But at that episode that we just did a couple days ago, Ramones for some reason made my ears ring for like 6 days.
I've been
Wow.
to I went to BB King's once. I saw
Saxon, right?
Saxon and
Saxon and UFO. Yeah,
UFO.
I was there.
Oh, that's right. I think yeah, I saw you there.
Mhm.
Imagine seeing Manowar in that little fucking place. It
Yeah,
was so
that's
packed. Like you to get a beer, it was like half the show online trying to get a beer in that place. It was so oversold out. They should have played a massive place. The last time they finally came back since then, they played a big giant theater where Night Demon played with King
yeah,
Diamond at
The
King's
King's Theater.
Theater. That's where Man of War sold that out. And that would have made more sense. A big, nice, open,
Hmm.
giant theater, beautiful theater. That place.
Yeah, I saw Manowar at the Culture Room, which is a small place, and it was overpacked. And you know that we're going to the show, and on the door it says you can't wear spikes. And Morbid Mario, a mutual friend of ours, to this day hates Manowar for that. and they have a song. We wear leather, we wear spikes
Yeah.
at night, and you can't wear spikes. And that was a very disappointing show because Manowar for me was always a bucket list band, probably the biggest bucket list band ever. That I never thought I'd see it. When I found out they were playing the Culture Room, I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god, I finally see Manowar." But what was good about that show was Rhapsody of Fire opened, and they were good. But Manowar came out during the
Yeah, I saw that tour.
Manowar kind of let us know, dude, fuck you all. You ain't from Europe. Because in Europe, you watch those home videos,
They
They're
got those big
that-
shows. Yeah.
they're into that shit because they're playing big places. But here they're playing the shitty Culture Room. They treated us like crap. They put us in that little area where you couldn't go in yet, the little outlaw patio. We're all scrunched in with no spikes on.
They seemed pissed when they played BB King's. Like they couldn't believe, like like you're saying in Europe, they were playing stadiums and giant soccer fucking fields and stuff, and all of a sudden they're playing their home area, and they're for New York band, and they're playing in this fucking little tiny club. It was so
They-
claustrophobic.
They played in an
and
even
so
smaller place
overpacked.
by my house. BB King's is nothing. This place that they played by my house, maybe like a half hour away or so. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really small, and I think there was less than 50 people there. And the place probably
Where when
held
back
like
in the
maybe
80s?
200.
Back in the 80s?
No, this is like in
Back in the
2000
80s?
ish. No, in
What?
like the 2000. Yeah, when
Yeah.
And only 50
Warriors of
people
the
there?
World came out. Yeah, no, I don't even think
I
50
saw-
people were there.
Wow.
First time I saw them, they played
Wow.
Jackson, Virginia, and that was probably about 97. And they had a really good crowd there. And then the second time I saw them, they played in North Carolina at this place called Ziggy's, and it was probably maybe 60, 70 people there. And then the third time was the Rhapsody of Fire tour, and that was sold out with those two bands.
Did you ever play with Manowar, Brian?
I wish. Never crossed paths with Manowar. I did, however, I did try to get my foot in the door to play drums for them,
Hmm.
but it didn't really work out too well. I didn't get my foot in the door. Because they had Jens Johansson. Was it his bro? I can't think of his name right now. Was it Jens and
Anders.
Anders, yeah,
Yeah.
Anders Johansson was playing drums for Manowar, and
Really?
he
When was that?
yeah, few years ago.
Wow.
He was the drummer before the current one,
Hmm.
Yeah, he was in
and
Hammerfall for a little
yeah,
while
yeah,
as well.
and he sometimes liked my stuff online, sometimes, and one day he posted like he wouldn't be able to make the Manowar gigs, and I messaged him so fast. I'm like, dude, if you want, like, I'll fill in for you, and you can come back anytime you want. He's like, sorry, they already got a guy. Fuck. But
Should have been like, dude, I got a fucking loincloth ready to go. I'm fucking
I
ready.
know, right? However,
I got kitty porn.
Yeah.
I was going to
I
say you
was
got
on-
baby oil.
I was on tour this past winter in around March, and Night Demon was opening up for Queensryche, and we kept crossing paths with this two other tours. There was Saxon and Girls School and Manowar. Both were also touring at the same time. Actually, Jeff Tate was also touring around us at the same time, but on one day off, we managed to go catch the Saxon tour. It worked out. And then like another night in Norway, there was another venue that was like a 5-minute walk from where we were playing that Manowar was playing. And they went on, and I'm like, I gotta make it over there. And it's like they went on around the time like we were on stage. And I'm like, it just hasn't worked out yet. But I do hope that I can catch Manowar because that's a bucket list band for me. And I do know that they tend to play all the new songs or not the ones you want to hear anyway. And but I don't know, man. It's Manowar, and it's a bucket list band. I gotta see it. It's one of the few that I really haven't seen at this point. I've seen bands that I never thought I'd see. Be it like on festivals or things. Like I saw Praying Mantis last year. Like I never thought I'd see fucking Praying Mantis. But I've just not been able to catch Manowar yet. So
How about Ross's
Well,
band? Did you
they've
see
I
totally
was
Ross's
just gonna
ignored
say,
the United States, though. Manowar never plays the United States. They've only
Yeah,
played a
not
few
much.
yeah,
times in the last 10
I was gonna
years.
say I've not crossed paths with Ross the Boss either, but
Wow.
that's more likely to happen, I think.
Yeah.
The reason Manowar doesn't play America much is because we're false metal posers.
We wear Cracker Jack clothes.
Yeah.
We lead the hall. But hey, I don't
Your father saw Manowar at Lemore's, he says.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
They used to
Hi,
play there
Dad.
all the time. They were like a house band, back then. The early days, they made their name at Lemore's. Your dad probably seen them at Lemore's.
I just said he did.
Yeah.
Don't you listen to anything I say?
Oh, yeah. I heard Lemore's.
His dad is in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned that before. Don't you listen to anything I say?
No, because it's my show.
I saw
That's
Manowar
right.
at Lemore's. I'd see it
It's probably
now.
the dick in my mouth.
I-
Can't really hear me too well.
No, the thing is, it's my show. We're doing this. I just listen.
Get that out of there, Wayne.
I ask questions and I won't even listen to the answer.
What?
That's how we
All
go.
right.
But anyway, hey man, it was fun having you, Brian. Anything else?
Yeah, man.
Anything else you want to plug?
Just keep an eye out, social media. My Instagram is Brutal Brian. I'll be posting anything I do on there. You can also find me on Facebook as Brutal Brian. Anything I do, any shows I play, any releases, you can find information there. And so Night Demon's going to be writing next year, and Hell Witch is writing right now. But we'll do some shows as well here and there. And any other gigs I can pick up. If any, I'm talking with a couple other bands. I'm going to do a tour with Green Jello next month. And you never know where you might see me on the road. So just keep an eye out. And
So you're playing for Green Jello?
yes.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, Green Jello would tour and play with local musicians, and Brian would do their Florida tour, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but this time I'm going to do like a proper US tour playing drums for them. So and it's going to be the first headlining Green Jello tour in a long, long time, in probably over a decade, I think. So
So they can legally call themselves Green Jello now. They don't have to go by jelly anymore. I guess.
the trick is it's green jelly, but there's the umlauts over the Y, and they say it's pronounced Jello. So that's the way they get around it. But so I'll be doing that next month, and just keep an eye out on my socials, and if you see me on the road, come say hi, and support heavy metal, and check out the last Hell Witch album, Annihilational Intercension. We worked really hard on that, and we're still promoting it. So
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
And also,
In combat.
Also, a shout out to Joseph Manella, who bought one, who just sent me
Oh fuck yeah.
PayPal.
Yeah,
So-
hit Ralph up. Buy those combat CDs. Those are out of print. This is your last chance to buy those. So
And if you want to suspend your imagination, make pretend we just re-released it for a limited quality.
limited quantity.
Yeah. Well, it is limited quality because
Limited quality. Yeah.
It's only limited quantity. My voice. The rest of it.
Yeah.
So I think he wants it autographed, but Brian is in Canada.
Oh, so he gets
Yeah,
a discount
no,
of $10.
Yeah. But I sign it goes up $2.
Yeah.
So he's in Canada. Okay, well, maybe you can get past the tariffs with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all I can say, Brian, is be nice. Don't be a dick. Because if you're a dick in Canada, straight to jail. They do that in Canada. Because everybody's so
Yeah.
nice, but if you're a dick, you go straight to Canada. That's what I heard. And I
Yeah,
believe
that's the rule of the land.
so.
And your
And
head
I'll
flaps.
check out Brian's socials when Thrash or Die finally does get back together for a show.
Yeah.
So come and watch me suck, but they'll rule. So right on, everybody. Want to thank you all for watching. Next week, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but we're gonna
Well,
do.
Aren't we gonna do a Man of War episode soon? Still,
I got Jackson's working on getting a day off to do it, so we got to wait on Jackson to do the Manowar show. So
What a
I heard
poser.
something
He'd
about
rather
another
work than
big
come on
rock
this show.
star that you said something about another big rock star, but I guess you can't announce it. I don't know when that might happen.
yeah,
oh yeah,
something Wayne brought up. Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah, that's right. It's somebody told me something, but that's why I say, hey, it might happen.
Yeah, that dude from Nickelback.
I hope so.
Anyway, thanks again, Brian, and the Almost Human.
Yeah.
Till next week, Macomagab.